Nothing more American than football. The New York Jets' disappointing season took another hit as owner Woody Johnson fired general manager Joe Douglas after 5+ seasons. The move came 6 weeks after Johnson fired coach Robert Saleh after a 2-3 start, setting the stage for an off-season reboot that likely will affect quarterback Aaron Rodgers. So ESPN's Rich Cimini speculated on Aaron Rodgers' future, tweeting, quote, "With a totally new regime in 2025, it likely means Aaron Rodgers won't be back. A new GM and head coach will probably want their own quarterback. Rodgers has a good relationship with Douglas and last week advocated for Jeff Ulbrich. It's hard to imagine him wanting to even be back." Interesting. All right, who wants to take this first? Stephen A? Okay. Did Rodgers cost Saleh and Joe Douglas their job?
He absolutely did, because he hasn't played well. He didn't cost them their job last year when he got hurt 4 plays into the season and was out the entire year. Everything that the Jets aspired to be and what they thought they could be was predicated on the assumption that Aaron Rodgers would look to some degree like the Aaron Rodgers he customarily looked like throughout his illustrious Hall of Fame career. But that has not been the case. He has been a shell of himself. Not to mention the fact that the team has looked devoid of leadership. Now, clearly, when we read the article, in the New York Times Athletic by Diana Rossini and the co-author of that article, where they highlighted some of the things that were going on in the Jets locker room, and how Woody Johnson wanted to bench Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh pushed back on that and had the support of GM Douglas and others. We hear all of this stuff that's been going on, but in the end, it comes down to Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers had played better, the Jets would have won a few more games. Had they won a few more games, these guys wouldn't be gone. There is no way around it. When we look at the New York Jets, I don't enjoy saying it or anything like that, but 2 people are out of a job today, and Aaron Rodgers has a lot to do with that. Not him talking behind closed doors or anything. I'm talking about his play on the field. It wasn't up to snuff, and 2 people are unemployed right now because of it.
And had other folks contributed. If Zerline made a field goal or 2, missed a field goal, Buffalo, missed a field goal in Denver, something along this could have changed. I have trouble believing. I know people said that after he lost the Denver game, which is the 4th game of the year, that Woody Johnson wanted to make a quarterback change. That's a little soon for me, because they were 2-2 and Zerline missed a 50-yard field goal, so I'm not sure if that is accurate. Now, listen, I think Rodgers will play next year somewhere. I think he's got too much pride. This is a bad season. I don't think he's going to want to go out like this. So I think he'll figure out a team that he plays for next year. And before you sit there and say that he's going to be shooed away from the Jets, where are they going for a quarterback?
Yeah, exactly. This makes me think Aaron Rodgers is about to be the GM. Like, are we sure this means that Aaron Rodgers is gone just because the GM got fired?
I agree with you.
So here's the interesting thing. Yesterday, a lot of personnel execs, a lot of NFL people texted me and said, "I told you so." Because before Aaron Rodgers got here, I was saying, I'm excited about the Jets. I think this could be a great thing. They're going all in. Aaron Rodgers can win games, potentially win a Super Bowl. And they said, no, he can't. And yesterday, a lot of those same people hit me back and said, I told you so. And in fact, one exec said to me, he has cemented his legacy as an organization killer. There is no market for that. I think those are not my words. Somebody else is in the NFL. But I think for Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he would want to go out like this. The question is, where would he go? And there aren't a lot of teams where you're thinking about, how do we build this from the ground up? How do we make ourselves into a winner? He's about to be 41 years old in a couple weeks. That means a year from now, he's going to be turning 42. Is that the quarterback you want leading? Woody Johnson. Is that if you've gotten rid of everything, are you going to say this is how we turn our franchise around, a 42-year-old quarterback? I don't know, because Woody, a lot of people I've talked to in the NFL look at Woody Johnson as a Jerry Jones Jr.
Yeah. Let me say this. Rodgers has not played well, so I'm not trying to advocate for his play because it has not been good enough. Woody Johnson caused this problem because he panicked. He panicked in week 4. He panicked by firing Saleh. And everybody, I had a lot of people on these desks tell me, least valuable person in the organization, blah, 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 talking about Robert Saleh, like this dude just forgot how to coach football, forgot how to build culture, forgot how to do all those things. when I watched him hold a team together with Zach Wilson as the quarterback, had his defense playing at elite levels most of the time, and they think, oh, we're going to rush him out of the door. Now we're going to give Ulbrich the head coaching job plus the defensive coordinating responsibilities, and he's going to walk in week 4 or 5, and all of a sudden this thing's going to have a spike and a change. It was doomed when you panicked. When you signed Aaron Rodgers and he got hurt the first 4 plays, he comes back the next year. He's a 41-year-old coming off an Achilles. You got to give this thing time to marinate, and you can't panic. He should have ridden the entirety of the season out, figured out what you have at the end. But when you panic, you compound problems, and that's Woody Johnson more than Aaron Rodgers.
Courage line. Obviously, their field goal kicker has cost them a couple of games.
For sure.
We all know that. He was one of the best at making 92% of his field goals last year. This year, he's in NFL worse at around 60%. So he's cost them about 2 games.
Sure.
We know that. We also know that Woody Johnson cost them because by firing Saleh and then upgrading Ulbrich, you ultimately compromised their defense because him and Saleh were running the defense, and now you've compromised that. We get that part. But in the end, what's inescapable is that the talent assembled on this squad was considered to be a threat. And it should not have come down to something like that. And if Aaron Rodgers is playing better, they're still overcoming that.
I agree.
He did it.
They would
and
have
that's what this comes down to.
Agreed. But once Saleh left.
And I agree with you.
Yeah, once Saleh left, the snowball, it's already created, right? This thing is dropping.
And then I don't want to hear anything
Clearly
about
he
Aaron
wasn't the
Rodgers.
problem.
I don't want to hear anything about Aaron Rodgers probably getting his role elevated. Because if you're talking about benching him, about benching him at one point, how all of a sudden you gonna hand over the keys to the throne to him? Well, if anything, Woody Johnson's ready to push him out the door.
How is this team better? In what ways has Aaron Rodgers? Unfortunately, I hate to say it. How has this team looked better?
Well, you can answer this question this way, or is not really a question?
Real quick, then I got to a break.
Sometimes you look better through subtraction.
And before Jeff puts Robert Saleh in the Hall of Fame,
no,
be fair,
my
Jeff.
God.
Okay.
No,
20 and 36.